Hello and welcome to today's video. I'm going to show you today one of the most picturesque valleys in Switzerland. Right now I'm above a village in the canton of Valais in Switzerland called Léman, and the name of the valley that I'm taking you to is called Val d'Emene, and it is about 2,300 meters above sea level when we get to the valley. Got quite a long way to go before getting there, and as you can see if I switch the camera around, that we are in some quite misty conditions right now. I'm hoping that will clear as we get higher, but it makes a beautiful contrast to the autumn colors that surround us. And you'll see as we go up into this valley that there's some real sheer drops and precipices along the way, and certainly some absolutely spectacular views of the mountains towards Mont Blanc and towards what they call the Mont Blanc Massif, which is the surrounding areas of glaciers and of mountains. And the very handy thing here in Switzerland is that there's never a shortage of signage and never a shortage of hiking trails. So we can go this way or we can go this way. But as we're going to M&A, it's to the left. It's a fairly steep hike, so if you're doing this, just be prepared. Maybe bring some walking sticks. I have some with me, which I'm partially using as I'm filming, so that makes it a little bit more challenging. And here in the middle of the trail, you can see some mushrooms growing. Of course, this is prime mushroom picking season, but I have no idea which mushrooms are edible and which are not. Do you know? Because I don't. And the sun has finally come out. I think we're just actually above the cloud line right now, so just crossing this access road, and we'll go back into the forest. Some better shade, and also just nicer to be surrounded by trees and nature and the birds and animals than to be on an access road. Although I must say, at least there are access roads that are sort of forest trails as well, which is pretty good, because compared to Ireland, and you'll see in my other videos, I make quite a few times the point that in Ireland, where I'm from originally, there are very few hiking trails and not so nice even forest trails. Often the forest is managed forest and Sitka spruce and just sort of being chopped down every so often. But certainly the lack of hiking trails in Ireland compared to continental Europe and even places like Scotland is, in my opinion, a crying shame, is how I would call it, because Ireland has so much to offer in terms of beauty, but it has very few proper hiking trails to actually see the beauty from. So if you want to drive around and take a photograph, it's perfect. But if you want to actually walk on trails like this, you won't find too many in Ireland, unfortunately. And we don't have the same right to roam or right to ramble, as it's called, in Scotland. You can see that we're going above the cloud line now. So actually the cloud earlier was really just a layer in the valley. And what we're kind of working our way up to is a hanging valley. So in geomorphological terms, it would be referred to as a hanging valley, carved out by glaciers like the valley below us was in the last ice age. Off to the side now, this is where the views in this walk, in this hike, really start to get majestic. So you can see right now, if you look down beyond the clouds, you would have Martigny right in the middle there, in the valley far down. The edge of Martigny would be visible. You can also would see Salvan and the back of Léman, where I started from today. And that's the Rhone Valley. So going all the way down that way, you have Zermatt in that direction. You cannot see the Matterhorn from here. But if you were to keep going, you'd arrive in Visp along the Rhone River. And from there you would take the train to Zermatt. You cannot drive to Zermatt. It's forbidden. And you have like small electric cars in Zermatt for, I don't know, wealthy tourists to chaperone them around the place and carry their luggage or whatever. But you can drive to the village before Zermatt and park there and take the train, or you can just take it from Visp, which is probably more advisable. So check that out for an epic view. Wow, that is quite impressive. So the valley is completely shrouded in this mist, in this low-level cloud, and you can see, if I zoom in a bit, that is the Mont Blanc Massif over there, and sort of to the right is towards Mont Blanc. I'm not actually sure off the top of my head if that is Mont Blanc to the very right, over here. Oop, just there, my finger's pointing. That is the Mont Blanc Massif, or the beginning of it, that whole region of high mountains. There are like 4,000 meter plus peaks surrounding Mont Blanc. Of course, the Alps are ever changing, and here is a prime example of rockfall. You can see that quite a lot of rock has fallen down this mountain slope over the years, and the trail is clear, but you often hear rocks falling if you are hiking frequently, which can be quite freaky. And also you hear avalanches in winter. As you can see, we're turning the bend now into the valley that leads towards Val d'Emene. So this is the joys of filming when you're walking fast and you think you're pressing the record button, but you're not. So I wasn't actually recording when I thought I was recording, so I will switch the camera around and explain again. So this is the direction of the Saint Bernard Pass. So you might have heard of that pass. It goes into the Aosta Valley from Switzerland into Italy. So if you were driving, sort of winding your way around these mountains, just right there would be somewhere around there. You can see a higher mountain behind where cloud is covering, would be the Saint Bernard Pass. And yeah, over to the other side is where we said Mont Blanc Massif is, and Mont Blanc, and you have the three countries of Switzerland, France and Italy sort of coming together. Nearly at the top. Here it is, look at that. I think you'll agree that that is one heck of a view. What a beautiful valley. So we're going to continue on into the valley. I'll catch my breath and I'll see you in a bit. So it's a couple of weeks later, or a week and a half or something, since I made the video you're watching with the other footage of this valley of Emene in autumn. We're still in autumn, but it's snowed now. So this is to show you what it looks like in the snow. It looks quite different, as you can see. Farmers, I don't know if there's a couple of different farmers, but it's where they have their buildings, where they house the cattle and whatever else they do around here. It's mostly cattle grazing from what I can see. It's definitely no crops at this altitude. This valley is actually filled with marmots. Probably won't be any today because it's a bit cold. And usually they go into hibernation quite early on once it starts getting cold at night. If you come here in the summer, you can see them running around everywhere. They live in burrows under the ground, and you hear them, their echoes crying out whenever they sense danger. If you come here and you're looking to do a loop and a bigger hike, you can actually hike up over there where I'm pointing somewhere around there. I think it's up that way. And where the second stick to the right is some confusing things. Somewhere around there, you cross. It's either there or it's there, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it's more there. And you can go down into Lac Salanf, and which is a big dammed lake. Not a dammed lake, but a lake with a dam is what I mean. You get what I mean. You can also hike up there on this side, and you would end up at, it's the Col de Barberine. You would end up at Lac de Emerson, which is another lake with a dam. There's a lot of hydroelectricity generated in Switzerland. You can actually see, the marmot holes here. It's one of them. I won't disturb them. I'm sure they're starting to hibernate. Those cliffs are just epic. So steep. You can imagine the massive glacier that carved them out. You can really feel the temperature dropping very rapidly now. Just zipped my jacket up a bit. Can't zip it up all the way because I've got the microphone on. I think I'll have to zip it up fully soon and find a new place for the microphone, because this is getting very chilly. You can see why there's snow on the surrounding cliffs, because it's pretty cold in the shade. Just seeing two people. Maybe they live there or are staying there or something, but these two people just walked up there with a big crate of beer. Lucky them. You don't normally see people up here at this time of the day, so I guess they're staying in one of those buildings. You can see the sun setting behind the mountain. These valleys were incredibly poor back 100 years ago, 120 years ago. Like, Switzerland wasn't all affluent and wealthy back then. That's the great thing with these kind of hikes, is that the view on the way back is just as stunning and different. Time of day, the light on the mountain is different. The clouds have lifted. Look at that mountain up ahead. I don't know how high it is, but I reckon it's probably touching around 4,000 meters at the top. My leg is being very sore today, as it has been for the past 17 months. I tore my muscle. It's a long story of survival. We're leaving the valley of M&A. Now behind us you can see the sun's rays glowing behind. You can see the soup of clouds that's still stuck in the valley. So that'll be interesting. Probably kind of spooky looking. Some of the locals must be going up to spend the evening there. Maybe they're with the people that had the beer earlier. Driving here in that 4x4 must be fun. Those cliffs look quite gnarly, if I use that word again. You don't want to wait around here too long. Some bits of stones falling down and stuff. And you can see, like, where there used to be some kind of guardrail here. Whatever happened to that, who knows? I see this rock fall up ahead. Yeah, it's getting so quiet right now. It's really kind of almost too quiet. It's getting a bit sort of spooky. And just look at that. It's beautiful. Look at the colors right over there in the distance. Far distance, you can see the sun hitting off the snow-capped peaks. That sea of cloud down below, which we'll be going down into. And that's the sign warning you that there is hunting taking place. Every time I put the camera away, I feel compelled to take it back out. That's the problem. But look at these views. It's really something else. That is pretty spectacular. Right now I'm starting to descend into the mist that we'd seen already, this lower cloud layer. I'm sort of just literally on the cusp of entering into it, into the thick soup of the cloud. Now I'm in it, so if I turn the camera around, you can maybe make out, it's getting dark now, maybe you can just about make out that it's sort of gone kind of misty everywhere. Look at this. Makes me think of Twin Peaks. This is the old church. It's a beautiful spire. It's kind of cool view of the Rhone Valley in the mist and the cloud. See if we can zoom in a bit. You have the train that goes to the border with France towards Mont Blanc. As I said, subscribing. I don't want to say the usual cheesy YouTube thing, but subscribing has a huge impact. Yeah, basically that's it. See you in the next video.